Anyone who's worked with Microsoft Power BI has gotten this email right here. It's from Microsoft and it's telling you that the Power BI report that you spent 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 months building has failed. And what? It failed on a Sunday when you weren't even in the office? Why? Well, typically it's because someone upstream of you has done something and it's broken your report. And unfortunately, these kind of errors are very common. This kind of stuff happens all the time, especially when what? You're not subscribed? Well, that error is easy to fix. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button to subscribe to this channel and then hit the like button to like this video. That said, we're also going to be talking about the try otherwise pattern in M code. And we're going to be demonstrating that pattern by loading in a CSV and putting in some error handling. So here's the CSV that we're going to be loading. And as you can see in the sales amount column, we have some non-numbers. So we have a TBD and a not applicable. So starting out then, let's try to load that CSV into our blank Microsoft Power BI desktop file that I've just opened up. I'm going to click this Get Data button, then I'm going to click Text or CSV, and then I'm going to select the CSV and click Open. Once I've clicked Open, I'm then going to go ahead and click Load. And this should load the CSV no problem. However, once it's loaded, if we expand the newly created table and we look at our sales amount column, what we might notice is that it's not formatted as a number. So let's go ahead and let's try to fix that. Let's click the three dots right here, and then let's click Edit Query. When we pop open Power Query, what we will notice is that the sales amount column here is formatted as text. It's a currency, so let's try to format it as a fixed decimal number, and then let's click Add New Step. And what do you know? We have some errors. Now, most people, when they see these errors come up, they have an instinct, and that is to remove the errors. So they'll go right up here to remove rows, and then they will click remove errors. And just like that, they think problem solved, right? Do not do this. When you remove rows like this, you are deleting data. What if that row was meant to have $1 million sale? Now your Power BI report is going to be short $1 million just because you added a step that just auto deletes any error that pops up. So let's try a different approach. I'm going to undo that error handling that previously just removed all the errors by clicking the little X here to remove that Power Query step. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to right click on the sales amount column. This time, I'm going to go down and I'm going to click Replace Errors. In the pop-up, I'm going to enter 0. And I'm going to go ahead and click OK. There we go. Now all of our errors have been replaced with a 0. Now, this is better than the previous approach that I showed you where we just straight up removed the errors. But is it really any better? What if that error wasn't meant to be a 0? What if it was meant to be a blank? There's all kinds of data quality problems that we get into this. So what is the solution? Well, we need M code. So if you don't know what M code is Power Query's advanced scripting language. You can get into the M code editor by going over here and clicking Advanced Editor. This will open up a window for you to write some M code in, and we can see the M code that this computer generated all on its own. Now, mQuery has a specific structure for handling errors, and it looks a bit like this. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up Notepad++ so we can type some pseudocode, and you can see it because it's all zoomed in. First, you have a try, then you have an action, then you have the keyword otherwise, then you have a fallback action. Simple, right? So this is like a safety net. If Power Query attempts the action and it succeeds, everything runs great. However, if there's some kind of error, like what we had with those columns, it will immediately do your fallback action or swap to your fallback value. So jumping back then into Microsoft Power BI and Power Query, let's close the advanced editor And let's go ahead and let's create a calculated column. So I'm going to click this add column button right here, and then I'm going to click custom column. Now, this is a different way that you can also write M code. What I'm doing here is I'm essentially just adding a step that will be my custom M code. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rename this column. So I'm going to select it and then I'm going to name it clean sales. Then for the actual formula, I'm going to use that try and then otherwise value. So I'm going to go try. Then on the next line, I'm going to go number dot from, and then I'm going to select our sales amount column. And then I'm going to go otherwise 0. Then we're going to go ahead and click OK. And as you can see right here, we now have a new column called clean sales. And we have a 0 right where we had our error. Now, right now, this is functionally doing the exact same thing that our replace errors would have done. However, we can now enter in pretty much any value we want. So for example, I can switch this to a -1. I could go ahead and I could replace this with a null, right? And now we have a null. Or I could go ahead and replace this with the word error. And what do you know? I now have the word error, but it's different than these ones that are actually highlighted as error. So let's change this errors for video, just so you can see exactly how dynamic this is. Are you impressed? Well, if you're not, let's get to the senior level of this. Let's just say you want to actually know why it failed. So let's go ahead and let's remove the otherwise statement from this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete out this otherwise piece right here. And I'm going to click OK. What do you see here? We now have a column full of records. Okay. So if I select right here, what you see is you see this has error, false, and then you have the actual value. If we go to this one, you'll see it has an error of true, and then it has the error and the record. Taking a closer look then at one of these records with an error, when we click on it, what we'll then see is that within this record, there's another record. And then when we click on that one, we'll see the actual reason for the error. In this case, it says, hey, we couldn't convert to a number. Now, this is where things get really exciting because what we can do is we can pull all of these rows with errors out into a separate table in Power Query, and we can pull them out with the reason for their error. So that way someone in the business can go through and review them and hopefully fix them either in a downstream system, or if you are importing off an Excel file or a CSV like this one, there in that Excel file. So let's go ahead and let's create a new table in our report to capture all of these errors. So I'm going to go right here to this query. I'm going to right click it and I'm going to click reference. I now am going to rename this by double clicking it and I'm going to title it errors. And we now have a table called errors that references our original table up here. I'm going to select our sales amount column, which has the errors. I'm going to go down to keep rows, keep errors. Then I'm going to go over here to our clean sales. I'm going to click this little button right here to expand. And I'm going to expand the error itself. And then once I've expanded the error itself, I can then go ahead and keep the actual message or the reason for the error. So now I have a nice table of clean errors with a reason for that error. I can then go ahead and I can remove my original sales amount columns. I can then go ahead and create one more query referencing our original query, but only this time I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep or remove the rows with errors. And I'll title this my clean fact. So I now have two tables, one with all of the errors in our data set and the reason for the errors, and then one that's nice and clean without any errors. And all of the rows removed. What we can then do is disable the load of our original query that's kind of the source for these other two queries. So we now have one main query that has everything in it that's not loading, and then one query that's loading with only the errors, and one query that's loading with only the clean fact data. Now, there's a couple of additional steps that I didn't do in this video that you could look into if you wanted. First of all, if you are writing custom mQuery code, you really probably wouldn't need all of those steps. You could really condense this down into something that's a lot more efficient. However, for this video's purpose, I demoed the kind of the easy mode method of doing this, which creates a ton of steps in Power Query Editor. Second, if you want to know how I threw that not subscribed error message, you can have Power Query throw custom errors. And you can do that by just simply using the keyword error. If you're interested, give it a quick Google. It's pretty straightforward. And by the way, if you're not subscribed and you enjoyed this video, come on, subscribe. All right. I hope you have a good night.